one story that you share that really put things in perspective for me about what I needed to expect in life. And I'm going to kind of lead you into it, and that's really the story that you related about Arnold Palmer and the gift that he received.
Yeah.
And I promised a few of these folks that if you didn't tell it, I would prompt you towards that, because that has been one of the more eye-opening stories that you have shared, and really put things in perspective for me. So if you wouldn't mind, I see you already know where I'm going with that.
So I had let me set it up. I had a guy who's a friend of mine who was going to go for a big job, but a lot of times when you have a job, you don't want to look for a job, because then you got a job and you don't want to lose the job. And so he didn't know what to do. Should he go up for this job? What if people found out he was ever looking at this? But it was a big job. And so I said to him, no, you got to go for this. And he says, I said, come over to my office. We'll talk about it. I'll give you some tips. And so we started to talk about it. And I'll tell you how to do it confidentially, and you go do it. And so he goes to the interview, wins the big job. It's just huge. And he's so excited. He comes back. I need to give you a gift. That's what he says to me. I said, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything. I just inspired you. And he go, no. It was that moment. It was that 5 minutes that changed it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done this. And he said, I need to give you a gift. I said, forget it. And he goes, I thought you'd say that. And he says, how about this? What if you and me and my dad and me would go play golf together? How about that as a gift? And I said, sure. And he says, can I bring a friend? I said, sure. And he says, I'm bringing Arnold Palmer. Come on. I said, you know Arnold Palmer? I said, that's like my dad's dream to do this. He says, I'm going to take you and your dad. We're going to go to Bay Hill. We're going to go play golf. We're going to have photographers the whole day. It's like their Monday, game. It's so much fun. I have so many stories that are so fantastic, because Arnold Palmer's like the king of sportsmanship. I mean, he loves it when you hit a good shot. He goes, whoa. I mean, like he's just like high-fiving you. It's just unbelievable. And so we go and around the whole thing, and it's unbelievable. And we finish the round, and then we're sitting with Arnold Palmer and having lunch. And of course, we're having lunch with him. I mean, it's pretty good in this process. And of course, comes around to order, and he's ordering an Arnold Palmer drink. I think I'd like to have a Beaudine, but then they bring me out mud or something, And so here's the thing that's so fantastic. Arnold Palmer says, I got to tell you a story. I said, sure. And he goes, I just developed a golf course in Saudi Arabia. Really? Wow. And he goes, yeah, it was fantastic. He said it really went well. The king loved it. We did a celebratory round at the end. And the king so loved the course. He was so overwhelmed that at the end, he says, I want to give you a gift, just like your friend did. And I said, what'd you say? And he says, I told him I charged him a lot of money for this golf course. And listen, I don't come here very often, and I'm excited. Thank you. No. And he says, and the king says, no, I want to give you a gift. And they went back, no, yes, until the king says, I'm giving you a gift. And he says, Bob, I blew the protocol. And, and then the king says to me, what do you want? What do you want? What would you say to a king? I mean, he's the richest man in the world. And so he says, he's thinking, how do I get out of this conversation? And he says, I collect golf clubs. And so he's flying home, and he says, he might get me an all gold driver. It might be gemmed with rubies and diamonds and emeralds. This is a true story. And he's thinking, this is so spectacular. And he's like pumped. And so he's waiting. And so 10 days go by, and he's at Bay Hill. He's got nothing. 13 days go by, nothing. On the 15th day, he gets a letter from the king. He says, Bob, I'm so bummed. I'm waiting for my box. Where's my box? I want to get out my gold driver. I'm going to show everybody. This is unbelievable. And he opens up the letter, and he starts reading. And it's a deeded trust for 495 acres of a golf club. He bought him an entire golf club. He was thinking golf club, and Arnie's thinking golf club. I mean, it's just too fantastical. And then Arnold Palmer says to me something I'll never forget. He says, so Bob, what are you thinking about your life? I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, are you thinking golf club or golf club? And then he